Greetings from sunny Scottsdale. Hey, it's Susie Q here, and I am back on video again. Doing a podcast slash video for Today I Thrive. It's going to be 111 in total, and I'm not sure which number I'm on right now, but here I am. Yesterday, we did a cool video about 3 things that might help you improve your state of being or encourage more wakeful state, or also just coming into more alignment with your beautiful and gorgeous body that you chose for this incarnation. And one of them was just being in a quiet place of naming your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Whew. We did a little bit of tapping here with affirmations here, 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 kind of at our heart space and on the sides here. And each one of those points were really beautiful opportunities for affirmations, like claiming it, like, oh man, I love my life and I love everything that is appearing in my field. And even if it's lessons, I receive that. And then the third one was about synchronicity. And so today we're going to focus a little bit more on synchronicity. And I've got some little cheat notes here. So synchronicity, this is my definition. It's a meaningful coincidence that cannot be explained. Hello, we don't know how it works. I can give you an example. For me, is my father left this world when I was 10, and so he went back to his beautiful source energy. And through the years, I have had different experiences with my dad. And one of them is that every once in a while, objects will appear that relate to my dad, just kind of out of the blue. And I've been a traveler since maybe like the fall of 2017. So I've been different places. I'm in sunny Scottsdale now, and it feels really nice and light. So I appreciate that. But what's funny is that my things are kind of in different places, but every once in a while things will show up. And one of them is not too long ago, my mother gave me the engagement ring that he gave her many, many years ago. It's very, very really simple and beautiful and very humble, but just a beautiful treasure, to have. And every once in a while it'll show up. It could even be on the carpet or the floor. It could be on a bed or a dresser. It just shows up. And so that is synchronicity. And it might be that I was thinking about him, or maybe noticing that I'm feeling his presence. And then sure enough, there's a cool manifestation that just is like, oh my God, he's still near, he's still close by. For me, that's a synchronicity. And this is so groovy. I had another synchronicity that happened the other day. So I do some holistic work helping people with their bodies. And of course, I get that same work back to me. So it's kind of a beautiful energy exchange there. And so I was working with another healing practitioner who had some energies in the area. If you don't know me, I'm able to perceive energies. And years ago, I had the ability to get a simple scan of a person's body. I'm not a doctor, not a nurse, but I do see hot spots in the body. I call them hot spots. And I generally know where these areas are, but I'll just say, listen, it's kind of in this area. You might want to check that out. This person I was working with happens to be a doctor, so it's kind of cool. So if I say it's here, then he's like, well, that's that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So anyway, so we were working on the area of the liver and also the gallbladder. And with that, for a lot of people, there is this emotional feelings around it. And probably many of you know that resistance or anger or animosity or, that kind of irritation. I'm irritated. You've done me wrong. Well, so we were in a process of kind of working through. So when these images come from me, or this energy starts activating within me, I go into a little bit of a flow space. It's not for everybody. I get that. Anyway, what's weird was it seemed like there might have been some resistance or some, it wasn't really getting through to this beautiful being, this beautiful angel being, and a perfect body form. Is that we do homeopathy. We have I have a lot of different resources here with natural supplements and homeopathy and all kinds of stuff I can't even explain. So, but we happen to have a homeopathy piece that was on the table, and it is the essence. It's a frequency essence, and I believe it was called, I don't know, was it fire? I think it was fire, maybe. And so we were talking, and there were a couple other homeopathy pieces there, and that one fell over. Just it was just on the table. We weren't even touching the table, and all of a sudden, this homeopathy bottle just went. It just fell over, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, "What's that?" Because clearly I'm not a doctor, but I'm fairly intuitive. And so I read the label, and it was about, guess what? The liver and gallbladder. So that's kind of a coincidence. I mean, it to me, it was like more beyond a coincidence. It was kind of like, wake up, people. But I could have made that happen, and I do use all these resources. I'm so fortunate, to have access to energy and frequency based nutrition and these different remedies, and that's pretty cool. But that was a weird, I have to say it, weird, super weird synchronicity as we were talking about the gallbladder and the liver. And so I'm kind of going back to that a little bit, is that so what I can do is I can look at a person and kind of sense that, well, it seems like there's some energy there, and may I come in and see if I can get any information, and that's really what I do. So that was another synchronicity. So when we look at synchronicities, I'm kind of like wiggly today. I feel kind of hyper. I also feel happy too, by the way. So that feels some kind of fidgety. But with a synchronicity, there are purposeful meanings for these things that kind of show up like right in the nick of time, Something comes in, that really lights you up, reminds you of who you are, and know that with certainty that you've got helpers all the time that are around you. Another example of synchronicity is so this was like years ago, but I was a prayer chaplain for like assisted living place, and so I would pray with the folks, the residents there, and one day I had a woman that came to me, and she saw me praying with some of the residents, and she said, "Would you mind praying with me?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she said, "My mother just died." And I said, "I know." I knew that, and so we go into prayer, and I'm always funny because I'm able to perceive and understand things that I can't quite say, definitively that, can you see it? No, but I can. So, but that day she came, and I did my regular prayer chaplain piece, and giving her some research, just some reassurance. But to be honest, I mean, the synchronicity was she came, and I knew her mother was already near me, and she just showed up, and I said, "Yeah, let's get this done." The mother was on my right side behind me, and I'm doing my regular prayer because I don't want to freak out people, right? I'm pretty sure people are pretty like, what is Susie? What is she even talking about, But she was on my right side, and the mother kept kind of nudging me to say different things. But again, I was trying to stay in that prayer chaplain vibe. And so finally, I just kind of listened into some of the information that was coming through, and this was synchronicity for that beautiful daughter that just lost her mom. And so basically it was just real simple, but it was basically, I'm really close, I'll always be close by. Literally, mom was right here. And also, so that was repeated, I'll always be with you. And the next one was makes me want to cry a little bit, but she said I did the best I could. I with whatever the experience was that you had with me, I honestly did the very, very best I could with what I had. And it makes me even want to cry now just thinking about that, because that's so much love, coming from a higher state of awareness. And it was just so fabulous to be safe for me as a chaplain to say some things like that. And so I really love that when we came out of that prayer, is that she said she could feel it and she's already experienced mom on the other side. So these synchronicities are so magical, so wonderful. And I mean, God, they come at the right time too, you know? So, I mean, just trust when these things are coming through to you. You know, it could be a lost letter, you know, that was very meaningful and it shows up all of a sudden on your desk or in a drawer, something that you had long forgotten about and it just manifests in some way, you know, and it's just so neat to look at synchronicity in your life and know that you've got helpers all over the place assisting you with your journey, assisting with you in your waking up process, and also assisting in you in loving yourself more. You know, that idea with the doctor that I was working with, it's, you know, like taking care of your body. Whew, feeling into that energy, you know, like what can I do more to take care of my body or to assist another person in clearing any residual effects of this lifetime or other lifetimes or any ancestral clearing. So all of these things are so meaningful, and the synchronicities sometimes wake us up, you know, to wow, there's more to this life. It's purposeful, it's meaningful, it's love based, it's heart centeredness. Whew. Anyway, um, yeah, so I just see you in your highest light with synchronicity, noticing these beautiful little nudges or little flutters. Sometimes I feel like I've got angel feathers on my face. I think like the angels are so close, I'm just like wiping it off my face, but I'm like, it won't come off. It's constantly. So we are always surrounded by beautiful beings in support of every experience and every breath that you take. Whew. With that being said, synchronicity, try it on. Dive deeper than before. See what's out there. Whew. From one world to another world, into the great beyond, there's so much to tune into and vibrate in. So, with that, so much love, many, many blessings, and namaste.